This could be the last Travis Scott collaboration on a Jordan 1, and it's weird. Have the box. Something a little bit different, but also very familiar. Obviously, we've had a Fragment Travis Scott triple collaboration before. This one comes with the same plastic sleeve. However, I believe the original one had black, whereas this one has blue logos all over it. And inside all of that, you are met with a very simple looking box, which kind of matches the sneakers. All over sale with a gloss white Nike branding, and that is pretty much it. There's not much else. Pop in the lid, you got some blue on the inside, the signature pink Travis Scott paper. Main difference here is obviously now you have some Fragment branding, whereas, you know, if it's just a regular Travis Scott, you just have his logos. Finally, the sneakers, the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Fragment. Some extras included in the box is 3 different colors of extra laces, sail, pink, and blue. And oddly enough, these shoes come laced, whereas like, you know, normal Jordan 1s come unlaced. That's kind of a normal thing. Maybe it's normal for Travis Scott's to come laced. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. One other weird additional extra, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But here we have them. Honestly, I did not think we were gonna get another Fragment Travis Scott triple collaboration. But here we are, and they're dropping very soon. Now, before giving you guys all of the context behind why the whole Travis Scott situation is so weird, and obviously these shoes too, let me start with the release details, because that is kind of where things start to get a little bit strange with the release of these. So, September the 20th is when these are going to be dropping. That date has kind of been set in stone now. They originally were like at the beginning of September. Now it's pretty much confirmed it's the 20th. However, we did recently get some information about the release of these, which is going to annoy anybody who wanted to get their hands on these. And that is the fact that yes, these are going to be dropping in a full family size run, but only on Travis Scott's website. So no Nike sneakers app release, no other retailers, no raffles for you to go and enter. And that, I believe, would make it the first time that this has happened with a Travis Scott Jordan 1, at least from recent memory. Maybe they've done it before, but I think for the most part, they've all had some kind of other release. Regardless, why this is such terrible news is that because Travis Scott's website, in terms of sneaker releases, is notoriously hard to be able to buy anything. I mean, you take a look at any of the comment sections of like different pages that have announced that information that these are going to be a Travis Scott exclusive, and all of them are just filled with allegations of, yeah, these are going to get backdoored. Now, another pretty rough piece of information that's going around is, along with all of the backdoor allegations, there's only 40,000 pairs of these that were made. Hardly anyone is going to be able to get a pair of these. Now, obviously, all of this information is not from Nike or Travis Scott, so we'll have to wait and see, but fingers crossed, I guess. Retail price on these is $150, and they will probably resell for thousands. I mean, you take a look at the aftermarket for pretty much any Travis Scott, but particularly the 2 first Fragment sneakers. The lows are going for like $2,500 to $3,000. The highs are like $3,500. It's insane. And with these being this limited and exclusive to Travis Scott's website, I can't see the price point being much better. Now, there's also been some rumors going around online that Travis Scott is leaving Nike and potentially going to Adidas. Whether that ties into the fact that these are going to be a website exclusive or not, I'm not entirely sure. But apparently he's been taking meetings with other brands since his contract with Nike is going to be expiring, I think next or the year after. And all of this circulating the internet has got a lot of people speculating whether this is going to be the final Travis Scott Jordan 1 that we see. Now, we have heard that before. In fact, we heard that, I believe, with the Golf Jordan 1s that dropped. Those were supposed to be the final one. And since then, we've seen plenty of other releases alongside his own signature sneakers with Jordan and Nike. So take all of that with a grain of salt. However, Travis Scott leaving Nike, I mean, he has done so much with Nike that, you know, even though it would be insanely crazy, like we are literally in the double digits now of different Jordan 1 low colorways. Who knows? Maybe in the future there's some kind of Yeezy-like brand that he could have with Adidas. Either way, all just rumors. Let's talk about the sneakers and what you're actually getting with these. There's some really cool stuff and some weird stuff. So I guess let's start with the weird. Something that you're going to immediately notice when you pull these out of the box is what the hell is right on the toe. So it's basically like a little lace thing that's kind of braided, it's multicolored, it's kind of just like a tiny little lace. Like if I pull it off here and show you, that is it. I've never seen this before. I don't know what it's about, what it's there for, whether it's literally just a design element or whether there's more story to it. I'm sure Nike and Travis Scott will explain this, hopefully they do. But yeah, you get one on each and they're both kind of different colors. One's got a little bit more black, blue, and white. This one has a little bit of pink in there, so all just, Travis Scott Fragment colors. Now, it is just kind of like, looped in there really weirdly, like it's not tied or anything. I probably wouldn't wear these with this on. I don't think it makes enough of a difference to be like, yeah, don't wear it on because it makes them look terrible, or, you take it off and you're really going to notice. I don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, I guess a little less random looking when you don't have it attached. Now, another really standout feature of this pair of shoes, and something you'll immediately notice when you pull them out, is the leather. This is noticeably nice leather, not just from a feeling it standpoint, but even from just a visual standpoint. Travis Scott Jordan 1s have always been a little bit more premium than your standard Jordans. Usually they throw some nicer leathers and suedes that are just soft to the touch and look good. And there's no difference with this pair. In fact, I would venture to say that this is probably one of the nicest leathers that they've put on a Jordan 1 Travis Scott collab. Now, obviously they haven't gone crazy with the colorway. It's pretty simple and basic, so I guess they're kind of doing all of the extra stuff with the actual materials itself. Now, you do have a very, very obvious tumbled effect to this leather, so you can really see all of the different lines and creases in it. It's decently soft, however, I will also say that it's very thick. And thick in a good way, like where it's actually still movable and, squishy, and not like the super hard plasticky stuff. All of the panels on here, you can see the grain on the edge, which is quite a nice touch. Now, I don't know if that's literally just because of the thickness of this leather or whether they've actually tinted it, because it does have kind of a brownish color to it. The majority of the shoe is that nice thick tumbled leather. However, you do have some color on here thanks to Fragment. That's really what they brought to the table. So you've got a Fragment blue reverse Nike swoosh on the side, blue outsole, blue sock liner, and heel tab. Now, Fragment was very nice, and they didn't just bring the color to the table, but they also brought their logo. So that's what you get on the heel, pressed in there and colored in black. And on the left shoe, you also get Travis Scott's branding, obviously the Cactus Jack embroidered in there. The other one has the Wings logo. That's a design detail that we also saw on the original lows from the first time that they did this collaboration. The midsole comes in a slightly yellowed out sail color, pleasantly done, not too bad. In fact, I think it goes really nicely with this colorway. And on the inside of the shoe, you also get a little bit more Fragment, all right? You get their signature little text on the midsole, and then you also get the faintest Travis Scott Cactus Jack logo right there. Very hard to see unless you're really looking closely because it kind of blends into the color. Some other Travis Scott branding, you got the Cactus Jack logo still on the patch. That's something that I believe he's done for all of his Jordan 1 collabs, so that's still there in black and red embroidery. And then of course you get the main Nike tag on the tongue as well in that Fragment blue. The overall tongue is yellowed out to kind of match, I guess, the midsole. And then on the inside, a little bit strange, you've just got a Nike logo pink insole. So normally you would be used to seeing like a bunch of different Travis Scott graphics all over the insole. These do not have any of that. It's literally just regular Nike. From a design standpoint, this is a very simple and plain pair of shoes, which of course could be a complaint. However, wearing them, styling them, how they look on foot, I mean, you can't really go wrong with this colorway. As much as I'd love to see something crazy and super different and something that we haven't seen before, this is just such a wearable colorway that's going to be so easy to style with a bunch of different outfits. You could almost wear any type of pants or outfit for that matter and it would look good. So yeah, for that, I definitely have to say it's a solid colorway and just overall, works very easily into your rotation. Now, is it my favorite colorway that they've done in terms of the triple collaboration? No, I'd probably say that the original is still better. I don't know, it's just more cohesive, just a little bit more going on. I would probably take these over the highs though, in terms of colorway. Now, for sizing and fit, pretty much your standard Jordan 1, they fit exactly the same. For me personally, that is true to size. So that's what I'm going to recommend to you. If you're, trying to grab these things, yeah, stay true to size. But yeah, overall, I do just think it's a little bit strange that we are getting this collaboration just in general. Like, we've kind of seen this quite a lot recently, where collaborators will come back and re-release their old projects, like Union did with their recent Jordan 1s, Amam and Yer with their updated 3s and 4s and whatever else they've done. The problem is that it just never really hits the same. Now, sure, I'm pretty happy with a lot of those drops. I mean, I managed to get the Union Jordan 1s, which is something that, you know, I never would have gone back and paid resale for the first original too. But here, it's not really doing the same thing. You know, it's not like Travis Scott and Fragment and Nike were like, hey, you know, nobody was able to get those ones and they cost like $3+ grand. Let's give them another one. This one's for the people. No, it's $40,000. It's almost like they're doing the opposite. They're coming back and rubbing this in people's faces who weren't managing to get the first ones. That's, of course, if the release goes how everybody is expecting it to. So yeah, there is just a bit of a weird feeling for me personally when it comes to this sneaker. I'm just finding it really hard to actually get excited about it. Even though, like, objectively, it's a really nice colorway. I would wear the hell out of these things. But it just overall feels a little bit empty. I'd love to know what you guys think about this pair of shoes down in the comment section. Where does it stack up in the Travis Scott Jordan 1 sphere? Are these towards the top, towards the bottom? Let me know. As always, I'm gonna leave another banger video for you in the top left-hand corner. Click there to check it out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.